Welcome to Parker Studios. Parker Studios, eh? Yokoso.
Black Bullet ni Henshin Shinakia!
In this video, I'm going to talk about gaming. And this video is dedicated to you, Mr. Stinkles, because you've been asking me to talk about video games lately. And that's a good topic to talk about. I haven't talked about games in a while. Now, when it comes to video games, we all know I am a Nintendo fan. I am the biggest Nintendo fanboy in existence. But you wouldn't know it based on the content that I've been uploading lately. And I've been uploading a lot of my own animation, my own IP, my own storylines. But video games still hits hard in my heart. So I still have a strong love for the industry. At this point in time, I'm just waiting for the new Fire Emblem game to drop on the Nintendo Switch 2. And Nintendo had that game in development for a while. So we know it's going to be a good game. We know the graphics is going to be fantastic. We know the gameplay is going to be fantastic, as always, because it's Nintendo. You can't stop Nintendo when it comes to awesome gameplay, awesome storylines, fantastic art, great graphics. It's just one of those things that's going to happen, right? They're just one of the best companies of all time. And Nintendo is just probably waiting for the fall of 2026 before they can release this game. But I do think they're going to announce a release date sometime soon. So we all just have to be patient, okay? Now, outside of that game, I've been keeping up here and there when it comes to video games, right? I haven't really been keeping up too much. One of the things that I've noticed is that the Nintendo Switch 2 continues to destroy the competition in sales. I've been seeing that, and it is amazing to watch, right? It is amazing that we already got the original Switch that obliterated all the competition and is getting closer to topping the PS2 record. Okay, now we have the Nintendo Switch 2 dominating the industry, becoming the fastest selling video game console in history, and it's still doing very well. okay? Now, I know the PS5 is giving it its best. It's trying to really hang in there. And in some ways, it's doing just fine in that category. But the Switch 2 is a unstoppable train. It is unstoppable. It is hard to defeat Nintendo right now. Nintendo's on the top of their game at this point in time in their history as a company. They're just knocking the ball out of the ballpark. We got the Super Mario movie, the second one, the Galaxy movie, about to break the billion-dollar bracket for a second time. That's why I keep trying to tell people Nintendo is unstoppable. Sure, you can get them on their knee, like with the Wii U, because a lot of champions, a lot of winners, they'll lose sometimes, especially when you've been in the game this long as Nintendo has. Okay, Nintendo's been in this game longer than Sony and Microsoft. All right, they've been in this industry since the first generation with the color TV game system. Now, this stuff needs to be said more because a lot of American or Western content creators, they keep forgetting that Nintendo been around before the Nintendo Entertainment System, before the NES. Nintendo been making consoles. But see, just because the NES released first in the Western markets, most Americans think, oh, 1985, Nintendo released their first console. No. Nintendo released their first console in the 70s. The very first generation. And they've been winning and knocking the competition out left and right. But yeah, we're going to give Sony some credit for bringing Nintendo to its knee a couple of times. But see, you're not going to destroy the granddaddy of gaming. And Nintendo is proving this right now, that they are the grand papa of the video game industry. Okay? I am on my lunch break, so I'm going to keep looking at my phone here and there, but I have to keep track of the time. But yeah, Mr. Stinkles, talking about gaming is something that I really love doing. I truly love gaming, and I may do this more often. We'll see how it all goes. You know, I still got things that I want to upload. You know, like I said, animation, comics. I do comics too, so there's things that I'm trying to do, you know, to keep my channel, you know, somewhat alive. I know I don't hardly be on here too much anymore. We all know I don't post too much on here, but I post other places. So, you know, we all got phones, so I'm somewhere for real. And I'm gonna go back to the gaming topic again. All right, the Switch 2. I feel like that's one of my favorite consoles. It is a great system, but see, it has the same DNA as the original Switch, and that was one of my favorite systems ever. So a system that is very similar to the original Switch is going to just become one of my favorite systems anyway. This is why Sony wants to do a hybrid. And they're going to do the hybrid in their own way, which I don't think it's going to work, but we'll see how that goes. And I'm not saying that just because it's Sony. It's because how they're doing the hybrid. It's not making a whole lot of sense how they're trying to do it. I still need them to explain more. Maybe we have to wait until they have their unveiling of the system so we can see, okay, this is truly just like the Switch, which we know it really needs to be if they're smart. But we know they're not going to do that. They're going to do it in a different way because they're still going to come out with a home console. Now, I know there's Sony fanboys want a home console. This is why Sony's in a bad position. The hardcore fans want a big box underneath the TV. That's going to drain financial resources from Sony. Then Sony knows that they need a handheld. So now they're going to come out with two things. Whereas with Nintendo, they got that one thing that hook up to the TV and you can carry it on the go. It's that one device. Sony is kind of like shooting yourself in the foot. I don't see how they're going to make it. They're probably going to make it with the Western audience. That's cool. If you're from the West, that's cool. But what about the Eastern people? What about the guys from Japan, South Korea, Asian markets? See, a lot of Westerners don't even think about the Asian markets because it's all about the West, the Western gaze. That's what I don't get. Nintendo is a worldwide organization. Their franchises is for everyone. This is how you destroy the competition. Even though Sony brought Nintendo to its knees before, a couple of times, that's fine. Sony was always a hardcore company for the hardcore gamers, mostly the older adults or the young adults. But Nintendo is for everybody. How are you going to really destroy the company that anybody of any age can hop into? You can be an old grandpapa playing with the Wiimote. You can be a young child playing with your DS. Nintendo is for everybody. How you going to beat that? You can't. You really can't. You can knock them down a couple of times, but you're not going to squash them. And that's why I love Nintendo. This company is just destroying the competition in sales. I don't know if you guys been following, the media create sales, but you guys really need to follow that and just check it out. You can go on Install Base, make an account. Make an account on installbase.com and you'll see for yourself. Week after week after week, Nintendo just squashing Sony, just squashing them. It's to the point where it's really laughable. This stuff is really comical. When you see how badly the Switch 2 has been destroying the competition, it's not even worth talking about at this point. That's how bad the destruction is. And even here in the West, the Switch 2 outselling the PS5. I understand 1 month, 2 months here and there, Sony gets a good punch in there, but in general, Nintendo's been dominating worldwide. I'm gonna bring something else to you guys before I go. Nintendo is planning to release the original Switch in India. They're already about to surpass the PS2 in total sales, okay? Keep that in mind. They're almost about to do it. Now they're going to launch in India, one of the largest populations in the world. And they love gaming too. So you guys can kind of get an idea of what Nintendo's trying to do. They want to make history here because they know they got the chance to do it. And they're about to do it. It's only a matter of time. Especially with all these consoles, prices going up and stuff like that. It's only a matter of time before people start saying, let me just go ahead and get a regular Switch. Let me just go ahead and buy that. It's cheaper. It's only going to be a matter of time. They have a large library. Nintendo doesn't even really need to release any new games at this time on there. Just lower the price when the time is right. But that's all I got for now. Mr. Stinkles, talking about gaming is a fun thing. And I may come back again soon. So I want all of you guys to have a nice day.
私はアミン・パーカーです。よくも立ついつもや描きつまごみにや
the I Mean Parker franchise has been brought to you by I Mean Parker Studios.